I bought 3 new PDF patterns. Last week you saw the cute new undies pattern that I found and I really like. And this week we're going to do the Bondi Tee by Sinclair Patterns. It looks like this. Very impressed with the pattern making, the directions, all of it. Very, 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 very good. I want a classic tee, something I can throw under a dress, under a little blazer, something like that. Just dress it up, dress it down, wear all the time. I have my favorite little raglan sleeve tee that I love, but I want something even more classic and more basic. And I'm wearing it. This is the Bondi Tee. This is my test run. You might recognize this fabric. This was the end of the bolt when that I got when I made my mom's shirt, and I had just enough to get this out of it. I actually did a little Instagram story on it. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this little shirt made up really quick. It is very fast. So today I'm gonna kind of just show the whole process. I will speed up or cut out parts, but I made this shirt in about 30 minutes. When I made it up, I'm going to make it exactly the same length and everything. I don't think I'm going to change anything as far as that goes. I like the fit, so I've already traced it off. It's really, really straightforward. So I'm going to just pull out my pattern. You can see this is my copy that I've traced from their directions, and I have found a little trick that I want to show you. I'm going to come close to the camera. They do such a nice job of how to join it that they have little circles and lines, and you can actually, instead of taping everything together to trace off, you can line up with those circles and lines. So I actually slid their pattern piece, their paper, underneath my big pattern paper and made the markings and did not have to tape everything together. It worked really well. So if you feel comfortable doing that, do it. I recommend. The fabric I'm going to sew with, move this out of the way, is this lovely shell pink rib knit from Hobby Lobby. I also lucked out. I went into Hobby Lobby yesterday to get the fabric for next week's project, and everything was 40% off. So we're going to sew this thing up in no time flat. All right, I'm going to pull out my pink thread out of storage and head over to the serger. This is almost entirely done on the serger. Actually, I did do it entirely on serger because I did a cover stitch too. So I'll see you over at my overlock machine. Okay, we're threaded. Now, this pattern assumes you're going to be overlocking. So it has 1/4 inch seam allowance and 5/8 inch hem allowance on the shirt, and then the sleeve has, I did not write down, but it appears to be 3/4 inch to 1 inch hem on the sleeve, but the garment itself is all 1/4 inch. So if you're serging, you just line it up with your knife and go. It's so easy. So we're going to start by sewing at the shoulder seams, our front to our back. Shoulders are done. So we're going to go on to sleeve now. We're going to do a flat sleeve. You could set the sleeve in, you could do it either way. I'm choosing to do a flat sleeve. It does have markings. It marks the front notch, so you can find, so you don't put your sleeves in backwards, but find your front notch and mark and line it up with the front notch of the garment. And then it also has a shoulder notch. So if you get that done, get those lined up, you will definitely get your shirt in, or your sleeve in properly and going the right direction, and you don't have to worry about your sleeve fitting, having an ill-fitting sleeve. So we have 2 sleeves in now. This is the back of the shirt. Here's the front. We're going to now run up the side seams. So I'm just going to head straight down those side seams from the sleeve all the way down. And after that, we'll put in our little neckline and then we'll switch to a cover stitch. All right, we're ready for collar. And collar, I mean neckband. Take our little neckband. Right sides together. We're just going to serge up the other side so that it becomes a circle. Now we're going to open it up and fold it in half. And I am going to put a few pins in so it stays in place and I can quarter it for applying to the shirt. So these pins are doing double duty. They're marking my quarters and they're holding the ribbing together so that it's not going to flip out on me. Now I'm going to take my neckline and do the same thing. I'm going to open this and put it shoulder to shoulder so that I can pull forward, find my center front. And my center back. I hope this is in frame. I have the camera sitting in such a way that I cannot see what you can see. Usually I can see what I'm working on, but today I don't have it that way. Now, the shoulder is not the quarter. You can see when I put front to back, this is my quarter. So this is where I'm going to mark for matching up with that. Oops. Not stretching, I'm just laying it on top of itself. Okay, now we're ready. So where I have my seam, where I sewed this together, that's going to be in the center back. So I'm going to line that seam up with my center back pin. Right side of the shirt. Now either side of the little neckband will be right side because it's folded out. Right sides. So once I've got that pin in, take the next pin, come to the shoulder. I'm going to line those two up. Some people would just wing this. I never do because I sure do not want my neckline to be slightly wonky. It's pretty noticeable. So I always take a little extra time with this part. Okay, and the last one is our center front. And now I'm ready to serge this on the 1/4 inch. Again, I'm going to start at the center back. Now when we do this, we want to make sure all 3 layers line up with each other. Taken the knee lift off of my serger because I was moving things around and I have not put it back on and I'm missing it. Make sure you get those pins out of there before you start sewing. So you want to check this real quick before you go on because it's really easy for one of those 3 layers to slip down. So we're just going to check, make sure we don't have a hole or a problem. And there's our pretty little neckline. So now that we've done all of those things, we're ready to switch our machine over to a cover stitch. Now we are just going to fold up and do our hems, and we're done. And when you're doing a cover stitch, you're hemming on the right side, so you need to pay attention to that. take that off. Alright, my camera shut off. I just found out it has a maximum recording time. We hit it. Okay, I'm all done. I'll see you over at the dress form. Here's my cute new t-shirts. 30 minutes from cut to hem and you're done. That does not include the time it takes the first time you draft off your pattern. But once you have your pattern done, it goes so quickly. You can make loads and loads of really cute t-shirts. This is meant for a serger. So if you have a serger, makes it faster. If you don't have a serger, set your machine for your zigzag and do your quarter to single ounce. It'll still go quick, but not quite as quick as if you were doing the overlock. Because I chose to switch out from regular stitching to the cover stitch, it took a little extra time for me, but still about 30 minutes total from beginning to end to the dress form. I wanted this shirt pattern specifically for the dress we're making next week. So I can't wait to see you next week for another great PDF pattern, a little more involved, but very, very cute. One more tee, because they're so quick and easy. This one, I decided to do traditional ribbing at the neckline and at the sleeve, almost like a little ringer tee. So when I cut this out, I only cut out the hem for a 1/4 inch instead of the full hem and applied a ribbing to it. Isn't that cute? Love it. See you next week for another fun video.